In today's video, I show you how to create a dreamy look using Camera Raw or Lightroom. I am Lou, a travel photographer, and I teach photo editing and help photographers to find their authentic style. So let's jump in Camera Raw to start with. So I've just uploaded a photo inside of Lightroom. So this photo that I captured in Annecy in France, and I'm going to show you how to add this dreamy effect to the photo. So first of all, I want to fix the geometry of my photo, so I'm gonna click on auto. Okay, so you can see before and after, so now I can see the wall is straight, and I'm going to show you how to add this dreamy effect, and then we're gonna do a few adjustments to edit our photo. So of course this is a raw image. I always recommend you to use a raw if you want to be able to edit your photo with the best quality possible. So what we're gonna do is to go to effect. Here I am in Lightroom, but you could also use Camera Raw or Lightroom Classic. This is the exact same settings. So here I'm opening effect, and we are going to use the clarity slider in the negative in the left side. So here I'm going to exaggerate so you can really see what's happening. So here what's happening is that it's taking all the highlight first, and it's making it glow, kind of glowing, as you can see. So here I'm at minus 100%. Of course no one wants to use it as much, but that's to show you. So here, as you can see, we are losing kind of a few details. So what I would recommend to do is to use clarity along with the texture slider. And if you add the texture slider, you can see that on the wall here, for example, there are some details that come back. So I can show you again. Here is no texture slider used, and here with this texture slider. So we still have this dreamy effect, but with some details that are back in our image. So you can see before and after, before and after. So here I'm going to reset everything because I don't want it to be like this. I would recommend to don't go with more than 30, so minus 30s or plus 30. So here, let's see. I'm looking at, especially here at my highlight, and I like something like this, and I'm gonna add a bit of texture. Here I'm especially looking at the wall. Okay, I don't give you a specific number, and I don't want to look at the number. I really want you to look at your photo when you are deciding on your settings. So here I could eventually add a little vignette, so the eyes focus more in the center of the image. And now I'm gonna do my general adjustment, and we are going to come back to this clarity slider. So I'm doing a few adjustments. Okay, now I'm gonna use the curve. I want to emphasize the shadows so the highlights are even more glowing. I'm going to my blue channels and gonna add a bit of yellow because yellow is the opposite color of blue. Okay, so I don't want this to affect my whole image, so I'm gonna place a dot in the middle here. So it's affecting only the highlight. Okay, let's see before and after. That's good. I'm gonna go to color now. Have a wall temperature color more towards yellow to emphasize the light, of course. And now I am gonna go to my mask. First of all, I'm gonna select my sky. So I click on sky here, and it's going to make a selection of my sky, which is pretty good. And I'm gonna do some adjustments. I want to emphasize the sky a little bit, the clouds especially. So by increasing and adding more shadows to the sky, I'm really adding definition to the clouds so they are more visible, and it adds some dramatic effect to the image. And now what I'm gonna do is that I want to emphasize this dreamy effect, dreamy light coming here from the right side. So I'm going to add a new mask and choose a radial gradient. I'm making this radial gradient like this, rotating it, and I want to add it where the light could come from. So here in this image the light comes from the right part. Let me fix that. Okay, so I want it to be around here. We can always change the position later on. And I'm gonna add a bit of exposure, a bit of like I'm changing the temperature more towards yellow, like if it was really a natural effect of the sun. And here I'm gonna go back to my effect, and same thing, I'm gonna go down with clarity, and you can see it's really emphasizing this dreamy effect, this dreamy light coming from the left side. So you can see before and after, before and after. As you can see, that really helps to add this dreamy effect. So now I can fix my mask if I want to. If you want it to be more subtle, you can always place the dots outside of your image. Sometimes we don't think about it, but you can add mask outside of the image. And so there is only one part of the mask affecting our image. So let's see before and after. Great. Let's go back to the general settings before and after. Now I might add another mask using a luminous range, and I want to emphasize the darker part, so there will be a difference between the highlight and the shadows. Okay, and I am adding more shadows to the shadows to emphasize the shadows. I don't want to go too far here. Let's see before and after, before and after. That is good. And now let's see the wall before and after, before and after, before and after. I'm going to remove the geometry setting just so it's not too disturbing, and we can see only the settings we did in the image. So this is after and this is before, and you can see that we really emphasize this dreamy effect in the light. So here we did a few adjustments, but what is really important, this is this effect panel here, and work with clarity and texture. The reason why I don't work with dehaze is that it's going to affect the whole image. So if you go down, you can see it's kind of adding this dreamy effect. In some cases that's interesting, but here that's affecting too much of the whole image, while clarity is going to affect mostly the highlight, and is going to help to create this natural dreamy effect coming from the light and not coming in the whole image. So here, this is the example with a Lightroom. I'm going to show you exactly the same with another image in Camera Raw. I opened this photo with Photoshop, and when opening a raw image in Photoshop, it's automatically opening Camera Raw, that is the system used in Photoshop to edit your raw image, to develop the raw image. So here I am in Camera Raw, and I'm going to show you how to add this dreamy effect to this image that is a completely different image. So first of all, I'm going to develop this image a bit because it's kind of dark, so I want to bring back some details. So we're gonna do that together. So I'm bringing up some shadows, some blacks as well. Okay, let's work on that. Let's go to color. I kind of like to be around more towards the yellows, adding some vibrance because the colors of the buildings are very beautiful, so it's worth working on them a little bit. Okay, so here I'm working on the curves, adding some yellow in the highlight, and I'm gonna add some reds as well, but yeah, not too much. It's especially visible here, you can see in the sky. Okay, here I feel like my effect is a little strong. Nice. So this is our correction so far. I'm doing a split toning here, so adding some blue in the shadows and the opposite color, yellow, orange in the highlights. It's really subtle, but I think it's still interesting. And now I am gonna go to the effects section and add this dreamy look. So as we've seen before, I'm gonna use the clarity and texture slider, but before that I want to show you how DAs work. So as you can see, if I go to the negative side, it's going to add kind of like a hazy look, fog look, but very unnatural on the whole image. So if your image is really hazy and you don't like it, going to the positive side with dehaze could fix that. Okay, so here I'm not using dehaze. I'm showing you that because I know a few people are using it. I wouldn't recommend to use it, and here is the way I add this dreamy look to my image. So I go down with clarity, and then I go up with texture to keep the texture in my image. And then at the end of every edit, I always sharpen my image. It's going to help to re-emphasize the texture of your image, of the buildings, of the rocks here, even the flowers. So yeah, don't be too worried about clarity, about losing texture because of going down with clarity, because we can bring back the most important texture when we are sharpening at the end. Of course, if you go completely at minus 100% with clarity, you won't be able to bring back the texture. So yeah, just be careful, don't go too crazy, and I would recommend don't go under minus 30. Okay, so let's see before and after. So look at the roofs, look at the houses here. It's still adding this dreamy effect. This is subtle, but it's going to help to add this dreamy look to your image. So here, one more thing I want to do, I'm going to the mask, and I want the eyes to really focus on this mid part of the image. So what I'm going to do is to add a red gradients, and I'm going to create kind of vignettes. So here I am going to invert my mask, so it's only the outer part that is affecting my image. So as you can see, it's like this, and I'm bringing down the exposure and adding a bit of contrast. And now I am gonna do a duplicate and invert mask. I'm gonna change a bit the shape of my mask. So I want the eyes to really focus on this part, and I'm adding a bit of exposure, shadows up a little bit. It adds to be still natural, so don't go too far. Adding some yellow, so it's emphasizing the street lamp as well. So you can see with all the mask, this is before and after. So the mask really helps to focus in the center of the image. Maybe we can go a bit more exposure with this mask here, and we could even go back to effect, and here take the clarity down for the middle of the image and take texture up always. Perfect. So this is before and after, and here is the before and after of the effect section, before and after. The dreamy effect is more subtle here. I'm gonna do one more thing, is to create a sky mask, going down with exposure, just to emphasize the fact that it's a night shot. And now I'm going to go to Photoshop. So I click on Open Object, and I am going to add some stars. So I'm using my brushes that if you want, you can purchase them. The link will be in the description. So you can see I have a few different brushes here. I'm going to use my stars brushes, and I am clicking in a few spots to add the stars. Okay. So just to make sure I didn't brush on the house, I'm using the eraser tool. Okay, so this is before and after. If you want, we can also add a small moon that is available in my toolkit with all the brushes and actions and more. Here I'm adding my small moon, and I'm reducing a bit the opacity. Okay, and then if I wanted from there to edit my image, I could run my action workflow. I click play and do the cleaning, the color grading, and the final adjustment. Here I'm not going to show you all of that. I'm just going to sharpen the image, because as I told you before, we can bring back a lot of details by sharpening. So I also have a sharpening action that is also available in the Travel Photographer ToolKit if you want to download them. So I click play, and then I'm gonna choose my setting, click OK. And then automatically it's creating a layer set on overlay, and you can see before and after, it is sharpening the whole details of my image. So here I'm going to show you the whole before after. I'm going to reset the settings. So this is before any settings, and after, before and after. And here this is mainly thanks to the effects section in Camera, and of course adding stars and moon is always helping to create a dreamy effect. So this is before, and this is after, before and after. I'm sure you can do it on your images as well. I hope you like this video. I hope you like this video. If it's the case, please push the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to don't miss the next video. And if you want to learn photo editing more in depth, My course Retouching Bootcamp is reopening its door at the end of September. This is limited to 30 students because this is kind of a mix between a course and coaching. So you are going to get personalized feedback from me. If you want to know more, check the link in the description and you can also join the waitlist. See you in the next video.